Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, April 28th, and I want to welcome you to our snack break today. I'm Jen Stone from Source, and I'm going to give you a quick orientation of the webinar tool itself before I introduce our guest today. You're muted automatically, but that doesn't mean that we want to be the only ones doing the talking. You all have access to the live chat where you can send a message or questions to the whole group. If you have trouble viewing the audio or viewing the presentation or with audio, feel free to check the box to send privately. You can test out the chat now, let us know what you're snacking on, or drop in your favorite emojis. Feel free to chat in questions anytime during the presentation. If we don't answer in real time, we'll make sure to cover it during the Q&A time at the end of the presentation. You can also adjust the ratio of video to slides by dragging the black slider underneath the speaker to audio. Get that photo nice and big so you can see that sweet dog there. Also, the recording of this webinar will be sent to you after we wrap up the live event. So if you miss anything or if you want to share it with a friend, you'll be able to do that. All right, now I'd like to introduce today's guest, Jillian Schaffer from MDC Interior Solutions. Jillian is the rep for Oregon and Alaska, and she's going to give us a quick overview of their latest launch of Zintra 3.0. Jillian, so great to have you joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Bailey says hi. He's going to help me present too.
Oh, the best news ever.
He just made his little cameo appearance. Thanks everybody so much for coming to spend some time with us virtually. Oh, no, the whole time. Okay, come here. Can't wait till I can get in front of your all's faces and hug you and see you all again. And I'm just really excited to share this with you. So I know a lot of you are probably familiar with MDC as a wall covering company. We have changed our name from MDC Walls to MDC Interior Solutions because we are launching so many more products. And one of those products is Zintra, which is our acoustic solution. And we just launched 3.0 with some amazing new solutions to solve your design issues and some great new patterns. So we'll just go through some of these slides, and I've got some samples here next to me that I'll show you to the best of my ability on the screen. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat as we go along, and I'll try to answer them as we go and try to keep this as live as possible.
Perfect.
So here we go. Oops. So the one thing that I really love about my company is the fact that we have the ability to digitally print on our Zintra. Here's an example of that. And you have a beautiful example in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see how beautifully saturated that color is. And then the baffle system next to it, you can see it looks like wood. So, oh, wait, hold on one second.
Just because we forgot to cover this, I want everyone to know I'm snacking on Haribo Star Mix. It's the best kind. This is your advertisement from Haribo.
I'm not quite sure how I managed to lose something while in quarantine, but I did. So the box baffles are different from our previous baffles, which were just 1/2-inch panels. So I'm going to show you a different sample, but it has the same idea as the box baffle. So this is one of the tiles, which we'll cover in a second, but you can see how it's like folded in and you can't see the inside or the, you know, like here on the digital print, you can see the core. You can't see that on these now. So that's the same idea for these box baffles. So before, when people would come to us and say, can you digitally print on these baffles? We could say yes, and we can do either side, but you're gonna have that core color, which is usually white because it's going to absorb the most color saturation and just be the best vibrancy for printing. But now with the box baffles, we can print on every side. So you can literally make it look like wood. You can make it look like concrete. You could print an image on it if you wanted that. You'd have to work with an artist on this. But like, you know how they have images and there's separate pieces, but when you look at it from a certain angle, it creates one image. Do something cool like that. The sky's the limit. Really, I just want you guys to remember that if you have an idea, come and ask me about it. We say yes to a lot of things, and there's a lot of designers that come to us and we're like, well, we've never done that before, but we could probably figure it out. So that's one of the things I love about my company. And then the picture on the left, you can see the baffle system. We're now offering various sizes within the baffle system, so they're not all the same size or height. You can mix and match and do different colors. And if anybody would like the Zintra 3.0 brochure sent to them after this, just put your email in the chat and I'll go ahead and send it. And we have a question. Do the baffles come with hardware? Yes. We will have all of the hardware that you would need, and you can choose, I believe there's aluminum and black, and there's silver and brass for like grommets and things like that. You can do aircraft wire. You can do the baffle system like you see here, where you have the rods and the baffle kind of snaps into it. So lots of different options. But yeah, we've got all the hardware for you. Okay, let's see if I can move on. So here's some more examples of some digital prints there on the left and then the top on the right. Just showing you some beautiful designs that you can do and how gorgeous it looks installed. And then the bottom right picture is of one of our baffles. It's a blade system, but it's custom. So the designer sent in 4 different sizes and those 4 different shapes that you're kind of seeing alternating. And then we just cut them. We send the panels out. They've got the backdrop to plug them into for the blade system. And then they inset it into the wall and they put light around it. And it becomes this beautiful piece of sculptural artwork on the wall, but it's absorbing sound and giving you an NRC rating, which is amazing. Our NRC rating ranges anywhere from a 0.45 when it's directly adhered to the wall to a 0.95. And that's if you have it off, if you have it on standoffs off the wall up to 6 inches, it's going to give you a higher NRC rating. And then baffles and blades are going to give you a higher NRC rating as well. So down here on the left, those are examples of our sliders. So those act like doors, which is really great. Those are examples of our 1/2-inch pattern layers. And then if you move over to the right-hand side, we've got the Zintra box tiles. So that's what I showed you before. And we have several different depths and different sizes, as you can see in that image there. So you can specify your own pattern and then just tell us how many you want of everything, and it makes it a pretty simple order there. What is Zintra made of? It's 100% polyester and 100% recyclable at the end of its life. It is, it's not going to absorb smell, and it's going to be easy to clean and maintain. So those are some of the pros about it. And then the picture there on the right in the corner is a sample of our layers. This is the 3D layers that we have now. And if you blow up that image, I love that communal space there, because that Zintra around that fireplace literally looks like slate, but it's not. It's sound absorbing panels. So I love this. And then here's an example of the other layers. So you can pick 3 colors. And I believe the NRC rating is about a 7, because it's a 1-inch thick panel. I'll have to check for you. It's in the brochure. But yeah, really good. So now we've got 1-inch panels. One of the colors is gonna be the backer for the rest. But if you're setting it into a wall or you have a corner guard, you won't worry about seeing that. But this just gives you some more options and gives you more of like a tile effect, which I really like. So just opening that up. Let's see what else we got. Some more examples of some digital printing on Zintra. And then you've got Zintra shapes on the first picture there. So now we can do squares, we can do circles, we can do triangles in different sizes. And they're not necessarily considered custom, because we're offering those now. You can do other shapes, and obviously you can do other cuts in them. We can also do custom patterns. We just need a vector file. So those things are pretty easy. The team does like to look at the pattern first and make sure that Zintra will maintain its integrity with the pattern. We don't want to do something where we're going to end up with an issue later down the road, or it's going to weaken the product or anything like that. And I think I have this on the next slide, but I just love the vibrancy. I mean, the printing quality is just outrageous. The team is great. You get a project manager from the start, and they take you through the very end. So that's just an extension of my team that kind of helps me complete the project from the backside, which, so for the most part, it's pretty seamless. Obviously, you have your moments, but we do a pretty good job. So talking on that digital vein, one thing I wanted to talk about that's a coordinating product is our digital printing capabilities. So we can digitally print on wood. We can digitally print on acrylic. We've got FRP now, which is great, especially for all of the healthcare industries that I'm sure are going to be going crazy trying to redo their design so that they're more cleanable and just healthier and antimicrobial. The FRP can withstand very harsh chemicals that they would use to clean in a healthcare environment. The first picture down here where it says Virginia football, that's a power stretch system. So it is a fabric that has dye sublimation printing. It's stretched and has a silicone edge that goes into an aluminum frame. You can powder coat the frame any color you want. And this is great for football fields. You can take that fabric out and replace it with another one. So great for universities if they want to do seasonal changes, or if they want to highlight one of their star players, but then their player graduates, then you get another one and replace it. It's also great because you can do it 10 feet in one direction and then it's limitless in the other direction. So if you've got like a large scale artwork project that you want to accomplish, that's great for that. We print on aluminum. Basically anything that you want to do, we find it. So again, come to me with your design ideas. Tell me what your vision is, and you may not even know what material you want to use or could use, but that's what we're here for, here to be a source for you. And that's it. That's all I've got. That's just a little brief. I do have some other samples that I didn't have a slide for that go along with Zintra 3.0. So this is the etched, and it's just a beautiful, yeah, nice etched pattern in there. We've got different patterns for that. We also have sculpt now, so it's just like etched but deeper. You get that? Hold on, I can't get the.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah,
there we go. Let's see, anything we should make sure to include in our spec when we use Zintra. Zintra is a little bit more complicated. So if you're specifying Zintra, you should definitely be going through me, like from the beginning. Like we need to go over the floor plans. We need to make sure, because you may not know how many panels our team needs to use to accomplish your goal. We do ask that the designers give us dimensions of everything. So if you're doing baffles, you know, I need to know length, width, height. If you can specify how many quantities, that's great. We do workshop drawings. So that's always included on the quote. And the quote for Zintra is always an estimate until we verify the workshop drawings. So the team will take the workshop drawings and they'll do them, and then we send them back to the designer for confirmation that they're correct. And that way there's just no mishaps, because sometimes the quantities don't line up. It's a little bit more complicated. So definitely use me as a resource and my team, and we'll get you all the information that you need for sure.
Good question.
Where does it ship from? So we have stock in Texas. If it's being digitally printed, it's coming from Seattle. And then I think Sculpt and Etched is coming from somewhere else. I got to double check on that. because another company is doing the intense artistic cutting for us on that. But pretty close, so that's good for lead points as far as like mileage and things like that. And it's just really durable. It's going to be a lot more rigid than our wool competitors, things like that. Does anybody else have any questions?
While everyone's thinking their questions, just a quick reminder that a recording of this video will be sent to you after we wrap up. And tomorrow we're going to be hosting Nicole Ruffle with Light Art. And you can go to our events page at tothesource.com to sign up for future snack breaks and to watch the archive videos there. And here's a link to the website if you want to order any samples from Jillian. There we go.
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
I don't think there's any other questions. Thanks so much, Jillian. This was super informative. Oh, nice.
Very cool. Anyways, sorry, Jen, you were much more dialed in than I was. Quarantine's really getting to me.
Well, I've only been like, I don't know, 20 of these now.
If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and email me. And I'd love to send you the brochure. It's got all the information to answer more of your questions as well right there. And it can just be a really great resource and reference for you.
Cool. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Jillian.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Well, have a good one. Bye.